I want to bring in now on India first. We've got with us Yair Lapid, Israel leader of opposition, former Prime Minister in Israel as well. Thank you very much for your time, Mr. Lapid, for joining us here on India today. I want to understand first from you as leader of opposition, do you agree with what Netanyahu has done with the strike on Iran?
Probably the first thing we have agreed upon in the last decade. But this was necessary. We had no other choice. It's not that Israel has declared war on Iran. Iran has declared war on Israel decades ago, financing and pushing forward terror like Hezbollah and Hamas, standing behind the October 7th massacre, and now trying to develop a nuclear bomb with the intention of dropping it on Israel. So we had to go out there and make sure this doesn't happen. So on this matter, the Israelis stand united and in total agreement.
I understand why that you all speak in one voice today, right now. But Mr. Lapid, I want to speak about what's happened in the last 24 hours and the strike that's been reported on an Israeli hospital. The cost of conflict always falls upon the civilians. And unfortunately, we've seen that happening in Israel too. Hospitals have been targeted. You know, you've got other civilian structures being targeted, Mr. Lapid. Is that a cost that Israel is willing to pay right now in the course of this conflict, unfortunately?
Fortunately, yes. Nobody wanted this war. And listen, we have no conflict with the Iranian people. We don't have a border with Iran. We don't have a history of conflict with Iran. The only problem is the only reason we are disputing with the Iranians is because the Iranian regime want all the Jews to die, and we refuse to die. So yes, I mean, the cost of war is always horrible, and I'm sorry for any innocent loss of life, of course, in Israel, but also on the other side. We don't have a fight or a war with the Iranian people. We just have a war with a regime that wants to eliminate us. There are only one member state in the United Nations, which is Iran, that is openly calling for the total destruction of another member state, which is Israel. And if they will get their hands on an atomic bomb, they will use it against us. So yes, we are paying a dear price, and what happened today in the Soroka hospital down south is heartbreaking. But the people of Israel understand that this is a price we're willing to pay in order to get rid of an existential threat.
Just taking off from what you said, Mr. Lapid, I also want to understand from you your response, since you agree with Mr. Netanyahu's decision of launching Operation Rising Lion, is why now? That question is constantly asked, of whether this strike by Israel was completely unprovoked on Iran, and whether there's adequate evidence that nuclear weapons are in fact being developed by Iran.
Well, I think there's no secret that there are nuclear facilities in places like Natanz and Fordo, and that they have now enough enriched uranium for not one or two or three, but 7, 8, or 9 bombs, and that the centrifuges are from the most advanced generation, and that they have revived the weapon group in order to be able to weaponize their missiles, and that their ballistic missile operation has grown into sizes that are non-bearable for us. There are more. I mean, if Iran would be stopped today, they would have had more ballistic missiles than Russia, and this means that they have more missiles than we have interceptors, and this cannot be allowed. So again, we didn't want this war with Iran. We don't have a fight with the people of Iran. I wish them well. We are not willing to have a nuclear Iran, and the level of intelligence and the kind of intelligence we were holding was very, very clear. Iran is running forward for a bomb, deceiving, lying to the entire world. If you ask the people who are supposed to supervise the Iranian nuclear program, they already know that they've been lied to for years now, and we had no choice. Otherwise, we wouldn't do it.
You say you have no choice. Is this also, if this conflict continues in this manner where it's escalating every 24 hours, Mr. Lapid, do you think that this could perhaps take a nuclear turn, at least on Israel's part?
No, this will never take a nuclear turn from Israel's part. We are, unlike others, responsible people, and there's no reason to worry. This is not going to turn into a global war. This is not going to turn into a nuclear war. This is what it is. It's an operation meant to make sure that Iran doesn't gets a hand on a nuclear bomb or nuclear ability. And this is it.
If there's constant escalation from Iran, there's been a lot of talk right now, Mr. Lapid, of America stepping in, of America's intervention to help you, to help Israel. And there have been a lot of comments by the US president on this. What's your message to America, Mr. Lapid? Why do you think America should step into a fight which many believe is not America's fight?
Well, it is the world's fight. This is not an Israeli problem. It's a global problem. Nuclear Iran is a global threat. Not to mention the fact that this will throw the entire Middle East and then the world into a nuclear arms race. If Iran gets a handle on a bomb, then you're going to have Egypt and Turkey are going to be the first ones to want a bomb as well. The Saudis will want to have their own nuclear program. You're going to have a nuclear arms race as bad as the Cold War back in the 70s and 80s, and you don't want this. And therefore, since it's a global problem, the United States has to do with it, and it will threaten the United States. Think of it this way. If the Iranians will have a nuclear ability, it is not only a bomb on a ballistic missile. This is also the ability of any terrorist on earth to get his hands on a dirty bomb or what they call a dirty suitcase that will go abroad, and then you have, instead of one 9/11, 20 9/11s everywhere else. So yes, this is a global problem, and we've been telling our American friends we think they would be better off stepping up to the challenge and making sure that the facilities in Fordow that only they can really hit right now are eliminated from the face of the earth in the name of global security.
And do you think they're convinced, Mr. Lapid? Do you think America and Mr. Trump will go ahead and help Israel right now in this conflict?
Well, Mr. Trump is going to make his own mind, and I'm sure he's going to do what he thinks is best for the United States. We can only say what we think and put out the evidence to why is it that we think this is essential. But eventually, the President of the United States is making his own decisions.
Okay, Mr. Lapid, also, I want to understand from you what really is the end game here. Is the ultimate goal of Israel to ensure a regime change, or as many hints have been dropped about the elimination of Khamenei?
No, what we want is to make sure Iran will never go nuclear. Eventually, there will going to be some sort of a policy following the military act, and it will be negotiated. Interestingly enough, for you, maybe I was asked yesterday on Israeli television, who do I think should be the mediator among others? And I said, I think one of the best people for the job, or maybe the best person for the job, is my friend Jaishankar, your foreign minister, because India is considered to be an honest broker by all parts. So I don't know how it's going to be played, but all we care about is making sure Iran will not have a nuclear ability.
Okay, India has condemned conflict, violence, but Mr. Lapid, you believe India should be playing the role of a mediator right now between Israel and Iran?
I was asked who I think is smart enough and respected enough by both parties in order to be a mediator or a third party in a mediation to stop the conflict. And I just gave my honest opinion that India was always well respected here in Israel. I think the Israelis wouldn't want an Arab country. The Iranians wouldn't want a Western country, and India is the global superpower and somebody we all trust.
Well, on that, I agree with you, Mr. Lapid, that perhaps India is perfectly poised to step in, mediate if we need to, between Israel and Iran. Thank you very much, Mr. Lapid, for joining us here on India Today and telling us on why exactly Israel has taken this step of a conflict with Iran, of striking nuclear sites in Iran. Thank you very much for your time.